Hi, Urvashi, and good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Hi, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you for joining the call. We are happy to have everyone on board. Indeed, we are so much delighted to see people joining the call this evening. It has been kind of a long journey when we started with the orientation. And yes, we are here today. This is our first live session. So as I said earlier, that my name is Joel Kahindi, Master Trainer at UNESCO MGIEP, and together with me is a co-facilitator who is joining from India. Vashi, if you can hear me, please just say hi to the audience.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Right.
Good evening.
Thank you. So as much as you can, please, as you keep the greetings coming, you could just use the chat box. It's open for everyone. So before we officially begin, I request that we take a moment to do a poll. And this poll is in regard to the baseline survey we have been requesting you to fill. We want to try to see how far you have gone, or rather how many people have taken that survey. And yes, from there we can proceed. So allow us drop a link in the chat, and please, that is a main link. You just need to click on that link. It should take you to a Menti. Yes, thank you for sharing, Bashi. That is the link. Please just click on the link. It will direct you to a Menti link where you will see a question there. And that question is actually asking you whether you have completed the survey, the baseline survey. So again, please just confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, Joel, it is visible.
All right, so let's respond to this poll kindly. Just a very simple poll. You just click on the link, then you respond to the question. It is yes or no.
And we can see the response here on the screen. 9 people already have submitted yes.
Yeah, sure. 9 people have submitted yes, and numbers keep increasing here.
That's good. Yeah, it's increasing. It's 11 now.
Moving to 12, 14. Yes.
We are 106 right now, and we urge everybody to please take this poll. It's very simple. All you need to do is just click on the link.
Please respond to the link, come into the poll. We need to see the numbers increase.
Where is the link?
The link in the chat box. this meeting. We are using Teams, and so we dropped the link there. But we can also drop it once again so that everyone gets a chance to respond to the poll. Have you completed and submitted the baseline survey?
Maybe
No,
I can.
please drop it again.
All right, we are dropping the link once again.
Hello, Joel.
Hello.
Hi. Some of the teachers from my area are not in the group, in myself included. I got the link via an email.
Okay.
Maybe we
So
can share the joining code of the WhatsApp once again, maybe that can be done.
Yes,
The one we
please.
showed during the orientation, no?
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that, ma'am. We'll share the link with you soon.
Thanks.
Thank you.
we have shared the link there. Some 2 minutes. Just pick respond to the poll kindly.
Can I just come in quickly?
Sure,
Yes,
please, Shreya.
sure.
So, hi everyone. I'm Shreya. We haven't been introduced, but I also work with Urvashi and Joel. While these are our fantastic master trainers, I'm just trying to help them. So, yeah, I just wanted to come in to say two things. One, I think there are a lot of responses in the chat box also that I see, and I want to first of all take a moment to say thank you to everyone who has completed the poll. We really appreciate a very enthusiastic response on the poll. So looks like there are a lot of yeses. So we are good to start, folks. That's one. The second bit I do want to share with our teachers here is welcome to the session by UNESCO MGIEP. You're in great hands with Joel and Urvashi. And I would also request them to introduce themselves a little more formally and share where they are from and what they do. Just like you, they're also educators. So I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic learning journey. One final suggestion I have for all the participants who have joined us is perhaps if you are facing data constraints or data internet, because I understand it's expensive, you might want to consider switching off your videos for the session, and that's absolutely fine. If you feel that your data is okay and you can afford it, then please go ahead and turn on your videos. We'd love to see you. But if you do want to turn it off, we understand and it's absolutely fine. Back to you, Joel and Urvashi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shreya, for laying the ground clear for everyone. Yes, once again, my name is Joel Kahindi, and I am a master trainer at UNESCO MGIEP. I support teachers across the globe taking the course Digital Educator and Social Emotional Learning. But then I'm also a computer science teacher teaching in one of the schools in Mombasa. I'm based in Kenya, to be specific. So thanks a lot, everyone, for joining. I have my colleague from India who is also going to introduce herself. Urvashi, if you can hear me, yes, grab the mic.
Absolutely. Good evening, everybody. And I'm super excited to be part of this journey together with all of you. I am joining in from India, capital of India, Delhi. And I come with 15 years of experience in education industry, specifically schools and colleges. I'm currently working in school and heading the senior grade students. classes. Yeah. Thank you so much, Joel. And thank you, everybody, for investing your time with us today.
Right.
Back to you, Joel.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Urvashi. And so, considering the numbers we are seeing in the poll, we are good to start. And so, this is our first live session. As we said earlier, that we are going to have our first live session today. And this is the SEL for Educator, the Social Emotional Learning course, a primer for educator. So before we even get deeper and really understand what SEL is all about, I want us to do a small activity here. And this is what we are going to do. We want you to describe how your week has been using some emojis. Okay, we have a list of emojis here, but then you need to pick 3 to 5 emojis that define how your week has been. And so drop that in the chat box. We shall be happy to see all the responses there. So let's do that. Just think of how your week has been, then describe that not in words, not in text, but use emojis. So if your week has been good, then that can be described using emojis. You could pick 2, 3, or even 5. Let's do that in the chat box.
Yes, Doc is there. Oh, this last book. Okay. Start is answering that, right? And I'm going to share these slides with you immediately after the class name. You are going to receive this presentation immediately after the class. I will stop you at 5:20. Start answering those questions.
Hello, kindly mute. I don't know, is somebody having a concern? Okay, so let's let's just have a look at what is streaming in the chat box. Yeah, lots of people are having a great and cool week, I can see. This is fantastic. Keep them coming. All right, so as we do that, it's always good for us to just keep on moving. We really want to give an overview of what UNESCO MGIEP is. We have had this during orientation, but just for the purposes of new people in the call, it's always good for us to read from the same page. So UNESCO MGIEP is in New Delhi. That is where it is. The physical offices are situated in India, and was established with the support of government of India. And it's good also for you to note that understand that its UNESCO MGIEP is first Category 1 research institute of UNESCO in the Asia Pacific region. That one is something that you need to understand. Then what the Institute does is basically focused on achieving the SDG 4.7, which is talking about creating education to foster peaceful and sustainable societies across the world or across the globe. So there's what we call as SEL, but what is happening is that those programs which the institute designs have some integration of SEL. They have some mainstreaming of social and emotional learning in the education system. And the presence to the global cities or the global nation or the areas across the globe is through digitally, meaning that It has a physical office, yes, in India, but it has more of online presence digitally, because most of these courses are done on the online space. So moving forward, we need to also understand the purpose of the session. The agenda of us meeting today is all about familiarizing with the social and emotional learning, which we call SEL. And of course, what is the importance of SEL in schools? And remember, schools here, we are talking of those stakeholders in the school. This is the teacher and the learners of the students, to be just precise. Then we shall also have a discussion around introducing you to the UNESCO MGIEPs, the SEL Educator Primer, which is the course, but a large percent of the discussion will be on getting into Framer space and starting the course. At that point, we shall see how then are we able to enroll, create an account, and even enroll to the course and officially begin the journey. So we have some rules of engagement for this session. In most cases, when we join online meetings or online sessions, they are just basic rules that keep us coordinated. So the first simple rule is be curious. You actually need to be curious in the sense that you have an open mind to listen and also participate, but then you also have to take out or undertake the activities as directed. Curious in this sense can also mean that you are eager to learn, get to understand or get the concepts as they are unpacked moving forward. One thing you also need to observe is active participation. As I say, whenever we pose questions or if there's an activity for us to do, we expect you to actually participate and engage actively. For the purposes of having a smooth coordination and running of this session, you are expected to keep your microphone on mute. This is because we don't actually have much time here. And so if we keep on muting and muting people, then that will mean our time will be wasted. So just make sure your microphone is on mute until the point that you want to speak, when you are going to be given that moment for you to speak. Then switch on your camera. I think this is something Shreya began by talking about it. If you can, this is also very good, so that we also try to see each other and connect socially. That's the essence of you having the camera on. But then if is very comfortable or very okay for you from where you are at the moment. Please mute your mic. Then moving forward, we also have to ask the questions and let the questions come, but those questions can be packed in the chat box, because we are quite a number here. And so if we are trying to unmute and speak, then that would mean taking much time. So we advise that you pack your questions in the chat box, so that you actually, we shall have a moment at maybe the end and review all the questions as we proceed. And of course, use the raise hand feature, the virtual hand feature, raise hand feature, if you want to actually grab the attention of the speaker here. That will mean that you will be seen and you shall give you some moment to speak. So then, we have an activity here that is before us, and this is the activity. Please mute. So in the next slide, you will be seeing an image of two children. So I want us to take this activity and actually understand what you expected of us. We are going to see an image of two children. Now, we request you to observe, just observe the image keenly. But I do the observation, think about the following. Think about the following three things. One, what is the child on the left feeling? And what is the child on the right feeling? Then how are you feeling as a teacher? So as you observe the picture or the image, we have questions to answer. So let's think of the questions as we observe the picture and try to give some responses to each and the question provided here. So this is the picture here. Let's look at it keenly. Two learners here, or two children, one on the left and one on the right. What do you think is the child? What is the child on the left feeling? What do you think the child on the left feels? And what is the child on the right feeling? Then how are you feeling as a teacher?
Can anyone answer, sir?
Yes, yeah, let's engage in the chat box. You can just say child on the left feeling embarrassed or feeling happy. Yeah, and child on the right feeling ashamed, if that is what you want to say. So let's engage in the chat box. And then as a teacher,
in the chat box.
Yes, please, yeah.
Okay.
As a teacher then, how are you feeling? This could be a scenario in the school, just some scenario in the school where you come from. Think about it and let's engage.
The child on the left is feeling happy because you can see he's laughing.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, the child on the left is feeling happy, as you can see, she's laughing. But the child on the right is feeling sad, seemingly she is crying. So in this situation, as a teacher, you cannot feel happy when there is one child who is bullying or teasing one another.
Thank you so much. You are really highlighting very powerful emotions in that statement. Thank you for sharing.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, as a teacher, you can't enjoy if there's someone bullying somebody in your classroom. You're supposed to take part and teach the children how bullying can lead. Some others can be dropouts because of bullying.
Thank you so much for sharing from the chat. There are lots of responses there. Just reading a few. The child on the left, power and pride, usually due to insecurities or other social factors. Child on the right is scared, yeah, feeling as an educator disturbed and upset. Thank you for sharing. Child on the left, angry, powerful, right, scared, overwhelmed. The teacher is frustrated and sad. Thank you for sharing. Lots of responses coming here. Child on the left is feeling sad. Child on the right is teasing. All right, as a teacher, I feel bullyism. Thank you for sharing that. Very powerful emotions emerging here. As a teacher, I'm so mad and sad about the situation. Sure. The child on the left is feeling angry or frustrated. The child on the right is feeling sad, scared, and embarrassed. So the teacher is feeling overwhelmed. and frustrated as well. Thank you, everyone. Keep the responses coming. This is very, very encouraging. We can see lots of responses in the chat. We may not be able to read all of them, but we really appreciate your contributions. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Vashi, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, please.
All right. So I'll take the session from here. Joel, the picture that you have shared and the comments that I read in the chat box, I
Yes.
think I can relate very well as an educator, right? So
Sure.
unhappy as an educator, we feel unhappy, we feel frustrated, we feel angry, we feel annoyed, very powerful emotions that we feel being a teacher, right? So maybe this is, this is something that we feel very concerned about, and this is a typical classroom scenario that we face as an educator every day, right? So the students, how students behave is somewhat directly connected to our feeling as an educator. Thank you, Joel. So we would like to share some facts and some data which has been researched here, keeping in mind the well-being of educators when bullying or such incidents happen around us. Compromised physical and mental health. So as most of you mentioned that we feel unhappy, we feel frustrated. So yes, we are compromising on our mental health, and we do feel drained, exhausted when we engage ourselves, because we are concerned teachers. So we compromise our physical health as well. Poor sleep quality. How many of you can relate to the fact that to find solutions, sometimes we feel that we are not able to even sleep properly? That's poor sleep quality, trying to find out a solution sometimes when we feel helpless. Job security and role ambiguity. So, when we are dealing with stressful situations like bullying or behavior issues in the classroom, we do sometimes questions on how to manage our role as an educator. Along with teaching, along with the course curriculum, we sometimes feel emotionally burdened to deal with such scenario. And that is the time when we question on our roles as an educator as well. Most challenging profession of the industry. This is a survey done in the year 2010 and in the year 2005 as well. And it was declared that teaching is the most challenging profession, very stressful and very demanding too. So, as you may see, these are not just your individual thoughts as an educator. These are the concerns and questions not just you generally ask to yourself. Let me apprise you with the information that these are certain facts wherein we have done a lot of research in the recent years, like mentioned here, Dayal 2023, who have acknowledged that teachers' physical and mental health is compromised. So, the intention of this program, Social Emotional Learning, is to help each one of us to find solution to these questions that we generally ask to ourselves. So, we will try to find out strategies, techniques, maybe change in perspective, which can help us to deal with such kind of situation. So, I hope you all would agree that stress is contagious. Let's have a quick look at the relationship between student performance and the teacher burnout cases. So the first statement states that student stress is proportional to teacher stress. How many of you would agree? Let me see. Let's use the chat box and let me see how many of you would agree with the first statement that student stress is proportional to teacher stress. As most of you have answered looking at the image, that you do feel annoyed, you do feel upset. So I'm sure that I could see a lot of thumbs up coming in. Yes. So student stress is proportional to the teacher stress. Let's move on to the second statement that talks about student performance. Student performance is proportional to teacher stress. vice versa. So if a teacher is feeling stressful, it will certainly be reflected in the student's performance or the class performance as well. So how many of you would like to share your thoughts on this? Your student performance, your class performance, is that impacted sometimes when you don't feel mentally balanced, or you don't feel happy, or you don't feel cheerful while taking the sessions? Does that have any impact? I see a lot of agreement in the chat box. Thank you so much. And let's move on to the third statement. Classroom behavioral problems are proportional to teacher burnout. Do we agree? We would love to hear from you through the chat box. You could type in your thoughts. Do you really agree with the fact that when we are not able to manage, or when the classroom behavioral problems increases, do we feel drained? Do we feel exhausted? And is it impacting your mental and physical health? So a lot of thumbs agree behavioral does cause burnout. Yes. Thank you so much, everybody. So how many times we try our best not to know that, and sometimes how many times we feel helpless if we are not able to deal with such scenarios? So these studies, like and the simulation theory of mind, establish this fact that yes, all these factors are interrelated, and they do have direct impact, and they share direct relationship. So one factor does affect the other one. Moving on to the next slide, Joel. So classroom management is one important topic which is getting a lot of attention nowadays, and we know the reason why now. So now, after understanding that the teacher well-being is equally important and does have a lot of contribution in student performance, behavior, let's do this grounding exercise, which is which is one of the beautiful technique which you can actually use in your classroom, not just for your students, and you can use it for yourself as well, right? So this is called 5 4 3 2 1 exercise, and this helps us to connect with our surroundings and bring our focus to the present moment. So let's first quickly find a comfortable position. My humble request to please put your mic on mute, because this is one technique wherein we will try to be in sync with ourselves, be in peace, achieve calmness by the end of this exercise. So please put yourself on mute. That's the right time to put yourself on mute now. Thank you. So you can sit straight, spine erected. You may switch off your camera if you would like to feel more comfortable. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose and slowly exhale through your mouth. Joel, I'm unable to actually mute the participants. If you could help me doing that.
Yes, let me mute her.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so let's begin with inhale and exhale. And the key lies in attention to details. So we need to focus. We need to focus on our senses one by one. And we have to keep on sharing one word in the chat box. We'll use chat box to share. Let's begin with the first sense that you can see. Look around you. Take in your surroundings and silently identify 5 things that you could see. Could be anything, could be objects, could be people, could be stationery, could be anything. Even small details like patterns, maybe on the carpet, maybe on the curtains, the walls, anything that you would like to share. 5 things you can see right now around you. So I've started receiving responses in the chat box. Stealing, stove. How about writing 5 things together? Right, my first response here: clock, lamp, couch, coffee, table lights in the window. Thank you. Yes. My yellow bed cover. Yes. Curtains, chairs, TV. Thank you, everybody. So 5 things you can see, you can put in the chat box. Let's move on to the next sense. 4 things that you can touch. So bring your attention to 4 things you can touch, you can feel. Notice the texture or maybe the temperature of the objects. Could be a simple feel of the fabric of your clothing that you're wearing, the texture of the surface of the table. How do you feel the floor? Your feet on the floor. So 4 things that you can touch. Warm hands, textured socks, that's attention to details. So we all are trying to share what we can touch, but the key lies in attention to details. Warm coffee. I see soft, cold, fluffy. All right. Hot heater. Soft gown, somebody wrote. Right, thank you so much. Now, quick, let's now move on to the next sense, which is hearing. So 3 things you can hear right now. Remember attention to details. Is it humming of your computer? Three that you can hear. Let me see responses in the chat box. Your voice, my TV, people talking, radio, dogs, distant music somebody mentioned. Children talking, attention to details. That matters the most. Try to focus on the sounds you might usually overlook. Gate closing, attention to details. Great. Now bring your awareness to 2 things that you can smell. We're talking about nose. We're talking about smell. You can also, think of your favorite scent or smells if it is not your surrounding. And you can mention here. Close your eyes and try to find out 2 things that you can smell. Mint, lovely, perfume, garlic, chips. That makes me hungry now.
Onion.
Car smoke. Lovely. So just a reminder, we are using chat box to share our feelings, to share our thoughts. We are using the chat box. And now moving on to the last and the final one. One thing that you can taste right now. Focus on one thing that you can taste. It could be aftertaste of any meal, could be a sip of water, attention to details. Or maybe you can think of the taste that you enjoy and you can share it with us. Medicine, interesting. Apple, sandwich, sweets, chips. Lot of chips I see. All right. Thank you, everybody. My humble request to put yourself on mute because now we are about to draw all our attention to ourselves. So we'll take another deep breath in through your nose and slowly exhale through your mouth. You may would like to close your eyes because now it's about how you feel. I would recommend closing your eyes for a few seconds and check how you feel now. What is that one feeling? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling joyful? Are you feeling centered? Peaceful? What is it? What is it that you feel now? Close your eyes. Few seconds. Don't write anything in the chat box. Just feel. And when you feel you're ready to share your feeling, use the chat box and let us know how you're feeling now. Conscious, calm, relaxed, at peace, exhausted, mixed emotions. Do not hesitate telling us that you are feeling overwhelmed or, exhausted. It's okay. Lost. It's okay to feel exhausted sometime. And I'm very happy that you're not hesitating sharing your feelings, how you're feeling right now. Being very honest. Joyful. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for practicing this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise. And this is one exercise, one technique which we can use to return, to ground ourselves in the present moment. We can use this exercise with, our classroom students as well. This is one exercise which I personally, quite often try with my students in the class. All right, Joel, would you please share the presentation again? So meanwhile, Joel is sharing what we just practiced is, as I mentioned, is a social and emotional strategy focused to build certain skill sets. How about guessing? What skill sets are we trying to develop using 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique? Very quickly, in the chat box, what is the skill sets that we are trying to focus, trying to build on using the social and emotional strategy? I'll take first 5 responses in the interest of time, and then we'll move on to the next. Awareness. Yes, brilliant. Thoughtfulness. Listening skills. Emotional awareness. Thank you so much. Yes. Concentration. One more. Empathy. emotional intelligence. Thank you so much. Thanks. Keep sharing what you think are the skill set that can be developed using the social and emotional strategy. And now let's move ahead and learn a bit more on the social emotional learning and why is it important. So mindfulness is something that we all must have heard about, and it's our senses that help us to perceive the world. So this is the time for an interesting question right now. All right, so we are going to share a link again, once again, Mentimeter link, the way we participated right in the beginning, the poll. This is another interesting poll. Since we have recently, experienced all our five senses and the feeling that we have shared, it's the right time to ask this question: where do emotions originate in the body? How about understanding where are these emotions coming from? So where do emotions originate in the body? It's not about where are you feeling it, it's about where do you think emotions originate. So there is a link in the chat box. I recently, my humble request to please put yourself on mute. So I've shared a link in the chat box. And the question is, do emotions originate? Simply click on the link. And
make sure back can light on bands of otherwise and 30 hours.
Please unmute Vashi. Sorry, I had to mute everyone.
thank you. Yes, thank you so much, Joel. So there is a Mentimeter link. It's a poll. Joel, if you could share the screen and can we look at the responses quickly? Question is, where do emotions originate? And there are 4 options given here. Is it heart? Is it stomach? Is it gut? Or is it brain? Where do emotions originate? Let's have a look at the results. So I see a lot of responses in the chat box saying it's brain. Somebody has written heart as well. I would really appreciate if you could use the link given in the chat box. We are deliberately using these tools so that, we are introducing you to various digital tools available and how you could use it. So I would really appreciate if we all can click on the link and submit our results in the poll. I see 41 people saying heart, 15 gut, 3 stomach, and nobody for heart, nobody for brain. All right, maybe that's the reason why everybody is writing it in the chat box. Brain is not in the poll. Yes, I just realized. Thank you. But I see a lot of responses saying brain. Yes. So researchers have actually discovered that gut and brain are closely connected. Do we not feel butterfly in our stomach? Brain. Still the answer remains same, brain. Sometimes we feel, that heart is sinking when we are very upset. And when we are overwhelmed with joy, then also we feel, our heart pumping. We do. So what do you think? Where emotions originate? Does that change your answer? Is it still brain or is it stomach, is it gut, or is it heart? Interesting question, isn't it? So all of a sudden, I don't see any response. Brain, all right. Okay, so let me tell you, yes, it is the brain, scientifically proven, because it is the limbic system, I think, in the brain, yes, where initially emotional responses originate, be it fear, be it aggression, right? So all those who answered brain, yes, it is brain, where the emotions originate. So let's now quickly understand. So we have experienced our senses, how we perceive the information from the word, how to be grounded, how to be mindful. We also have understood that where all these emotions are originating, which is our brain. Now it's time to understand what is social and emotional learning. So social and emotional learning is an approach where we are trying to build the social and emotional competencies. And how do we do that? We do that by identifying and navigating through our emotions the way we did in the grounding exercise. Feeling in different parts of the body, navigating through different senses, because identification is the most important step. Once we identify and navigate emotion, then we practice mindfully engaging with our senses. Mindful engagement is very important because that gives you a greater control to regulate and control and monitor yourself. And by doing so, be it mental focus, be it emotions, be it perspective taking, these skills equip yourself with these competency, because then we actually exhibit the pro-social behavior for human flourishing towards a peaceful and sustainable planet, which is the goal of this program. Move on to the next slide, please, Joel. So here we have an interesting framework of social emotional learning. So there are a lot of competencies and there are a lot of framework available, for SEL, social emotional learning. This is developed by UNESCO MGIEP, wherein we are focusing on 4 critical competencies. So EMC square, does that ring any bell? EMC square. Have you heard about this term anywhere? Responses in the chat box, I'm waiting. EMC square. Have you heard about this? It's a very, yes, I see, yes, science, Einstein, yes, thank you so much. So it's a spin on Einstein's EMC square, and EMC here means E stands for empathy, M stands for mindfulness, and C square is for compassion and critical inquiry. So let's start with empathy. Empathy is to recognize and name the emotion that you're feeling, understand perspective of the others. And that's how you foster social connection, when you understand others' perspective and your feelings. Then comes mindfulness, which is the increased attention and awareness. This increased attention and awareness helps you to regulate your emotions. Once you are able to regulate your emotion, understand others' emotion, it is compassion. It is acknowledgement of the compassion. It is practicing compassion with others and self, and become an agent of change. Then the last and the most important part is critical inquiry. It is so very important to understand the way you are feeling. What is the root cause of that? Why are you feeling like that? And it has to be logical, it has to be rational. So critical inquiry is the most important part when we talk about why are we feeling like this and how we can overcome this emotion. Next slide, please, Joel. So I hope you all would agree with me that the process of learning is social, emotional, cognitive, and academic, and it is all integrated. How many of you believe? How many of you believe that this is true? Responses in the chat box. So the process of learning is not just academic and cognitive. Social and emotional aspect is equally important and needs to be taken care. And let me tell you, they are absolutely integrated. And that is the reason why when a child is bullied, you also feel uncomfortable. The child also feel uncomfortable. And that impacts the overall performance of the class and the teachers. Why do we talk about safe space? Feeling safe in the classroom. Why do students not able to accommodate or collaborate or work in team face a lot of problems in academics as well? So I see a lot of true, fully agree. Now let's move on to the second statement that says human brain is ready to learn when it is emotionally engaged and socially connected. How many of you would agree with that? Emotionally engaged and socially connected. That's why we prefer working on projects in groups. And I would like to share some facts that advances in neurobiology are revealing that brain development and the learning it can do is directly influenced by socio-emotional state it is surrounded by. So how is your surrounding, whether the child is feeling safe or not? We talk about experiential learning, we talk about project-based learning. We are trying to engaging student in a group, making them socially connected, allowing them to collaborate with each other, feeling safe even if they do not know the answer individually. So that also means that emotions like fear of failure, self-doubt, anxiety, feeling secluded, no friends, nobody to talk to, that reduces the brain's ability to process information and learn. A lot of agreement again in the chat box. Let's move on to the third and the most important statement that states human brain is malleable. It is not just influenced by the environment, but it is constantly growing and changing. When we are trying to learn new things, there is something called as neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is a process that helps in learning by allowing brain to form new connections between neurons. So today, when we are learning together about social emotional learning, a new concept, new strategies, we are actually creating a lot of new connections. Our brain is creating a lot of new connections between neurons. And that's how your brain changes and adapt by strengthening these connections. And that's why we call that brain is malleable, flexible. It can change if you want to change it. Joel, next. Next slide, please, Joel. Thank you. So based on what you have heard, what you have experienced, what we agreed, it is time to again reflect on the same image that we started our session with. So over to Joel now. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vashi, for that wonderful piece. Indeed, it's very clear that how we learn is basically influenced by so many other factors. One of it is just the emotions that we actually undergo. So now I want you to use the chat box and just think about think about the responses you gave earlier regarding this picture that We have two students here, and what you're able to see and the tips you have got out of that presentation, does that now change your earlier responses? You could just use the chat box for that activity. But meanwhile, I want us to have a check-in activity. We have been speaking for long. It was a bit a moment to listen and engage in the chat. But I want you to now think of how you are doing. How are you feeling? Again, use the chat box. You could choose any of the options provided here, or even just a different option that defines you at the moment. How are you doing and how are you feeling? Are you feeling bored? Are you feeling focused? Are you overloaded? Are you comfortable? Just use the chat box to put your responses there.
Joel, can I come in for a
Yes,
second?
please. Yes, please.
And just I just wanted to inform everybody that if you feel two emotions together, please do not hesitate by sharing with us. It could be A plus B or A plus C as well.
Sure. It's okay to be bored, and that could maybe combined with something else. The options we have here. Just think of how you're feeling and share in the chat box. Thank you, Vash, for that addition. So as we do that, let's think about the statement displayed here. It's given that everyone needs SEL. At this point from where we started our discussion, think about this. Everyone needs SEL. Everyone in this case, we are talking of the learners, the teachers, the parents, whoever is around. Students need it the most, and teachers need it more than others. Do you agree to these statements? You could as well use the chat box and just put your responses there. Is it true? Do you agree that teachers need SEL the most or need SEL more than others? You are an educator, you are a teacher. Considering the scenarios we have seen, the frameworks we have discussed, and everything that we have had over this session, do you agree to these statements? Use the chat. Please use the chat box to put your responses there. We usually say that you can actually you cannot pour from an empty cup. And so if you are rich in terms of knowing how to manage your emotions, then you can comfortably support even the learners in your classroom. So I think for me, I do agree that teachers need SEL more than others. Yes, so moving on, we want to get to the course. We actually want to see how we can enroll, but then we need to create the account. This is signing up, and then we enroll to the course. Now, if you are following this together with me, please just take the steps or take the tips as we provide so that you get to enroll by the end of this session. So the course that we are, the course that supports teachers to enhance their own social emotional competencies, for this we refer to as SEC, is along with providing them with evidence-based tools and practice that can be used to improve the SEL social emotional competence of their students. We are not going to repeat this. It's all what we have just been discussing about. This is what SEL is all about. But then how do we get to SEL? That's something we are going to see in a short while. So the SEL for Educators course is designed into modules. It has modules. Module 1, which talks about introduction to social and emotional learning. And module 2 is evidence-based practices for building safe and supportive spaces. Module 3 talks about cultivating SEL competencies, educators and learners. This is part 1. which is replicated to module 4, but part 2 of it. And then module 5 is nurturing healthy relationship for learning. So we expect that this course is taken in 2 weeks, that the learning pace here is between week 1, we expect you to have done module 1, module 2, and then the remaining days for week 2, you do module 3, module 4, and module 5. So then how do we get to the course? How do we even sign up and enroll to the course? So just allow me share a direct link here. And please, if you're using a laptop or any device that you can follow the process, please do it. Because it is only when you enroll to the course that you'll be considered to be taking the course for that case. So I'm sharing the link here. Remember, this is a link that is a direct link to the course. So what you need to do, you need just to copy and
chat box. So I cannot get the link.
Sorry?
I have a problem with the chat box. It's inactive.
Okay. All right, no problem. We are going to share the same link in that WhatsApp. I hope you in this WhatsApp.
Yeah.
The WhatsApp.
I'll do that.
Yeah, sure. You can also pick it.
I will do
there.
that too. Yeah.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you. So once you get the link, you could copy and paste the link into your browser. Remember, you need to have good internet. Just copy and paste the link into your browser. Give it some few seconds to load. Copy and paste the link into your browser, then give it some few seconds to load. So
Maybe.
just click on the sign up button. Hello, can you still hear me from your end?
Yes, we can hear you, Joel. Now
Yes,
you're audible. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So once you hit the sign up button, the system requires you to just populate some basic information here. You create an account. So the first item is your age. So here you put your age, say 34 is your age. And then now system requires you to put a password. The password, just pick a password that you can remember. One that is easily accessible, one that you remember. And of course, put it there to confirm the same password. So moving down, we have a section for email. Now, please use an email that you can also access, one that you can get into the inbox and read some mail. Because sometimes a unique ID is sent to that email. So you have to be very sure that that email is working. So for me, I'll bring an email here, email address. I put it here. Then, of course, I need to confirm. Moving down, you are supposed to the country. So you have an option to choose. So scroll down. As you scroll, you are trying to locate South Africa is the country. So South Africa is there. And then now select the state. In this case, it is Eastern. Okay. And then moving down here, we have another section where you are asked to put your school name or the institution where you belong. So if this is my institution, I put it here. Okay. This is where I am. But for you, of course, you'll put the institution you belong. And then now, you need to actually submit the form. So then when you submit the form, to where you started. But remember, you had created the account. So you need to just sign in. So what you need to do, come here and put your email address. And of course, the password that you have just created or the one that you have used. And then submit. Now you are signing in after creating the account. So I want those who are following, maybe if anybody is following what I'm doing, please just give me a thumbs up in the chat box to just confirm if you have got to this point before we proceed. Just a show of hands. How many people have got here to this point? If not, no worries. We shall also share some tutorials later. So we have the recording, but it's always good you try it out and see if there are any challenges. Support as we move. So once you get to this point, then just confirm that you are on the right course, and the course is South Africa, the social emotional educator at primary. Please confirm this, because if you are not keen enough, then you may be enrolled in a different course, which is that would mean that you are not taking the course that is intended for you. So what you need to do at this point, you can read all this information around here, but then you move down and you'll see the button written enroll. So click this enroll button. There are 2 seconds there. You're told join
We
cohort.
need a code. We need a code.
Yes, I think you are much. Thank you, thank you. So I'm sharing the code here.
Please, can we have it?
I'm sharing the code. The code is right here.
It is there in the chat box already. A
Thank
lot of
you.
people are helping and troubleshooting. Thank you, everybody. Those who are already successfully enrolled, they're writing it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now that is the code. Please use the code to enroll. Remember, the code is case sensitive in this case. Take it the way it is and then click enroll. Just enroll. Give it some few seconds to load. And it will say you are successfully enrolled to the course. So let's see thumbs up for those who have done it up to that point. Use the chat box. So now, what happens here is that if you go to the home page and click on the home page from where you have the Framer Space logo, that's where we have the home page icon. Then it prompts you to actually act on a feedback form. But for the purpose of this demonstration, we are not focusing on that. So you can close this. You have your unique ID displayed top right here. This is your unique ID. Remember, the system generates a unique ID for you. And this does not have any effect to your certificate. Because sometimes here it's written like, hello, Nessie. I'm not Nessie, but the system has given me a nickname for the purposes of identification. So you could copy this unique ID and save it at a good place. You could bring it to, I could just put it into your email. That will be good for you so that you don't forget and always get it available when you want it. Once again, the unique ID is also very sensitive in terms of the character. So just pick it the way it is for you.
Joel. Sorry, Joel.
Yes, please.
Yes. Am I choosing both the digital teacher and the SEL?
Okay. Did you use the link that we have given you?
Yes.
All right. So once you use the link, it will take you to the sign up section. You need to populate the form, answer the questions beginning with your age and all that.
Yes,
and then now submit the form. Have you done that?
Yes, I've submitted the form. It's in the part where it says hello, Sada. Then it gives me my unique code. Then all the courses.
All
Okay.
right.
Do you have a
yeah.
do you have a course displayed here? I mean, after enrolling, do you have a course displayed as one of the courses you have enrolled, where it's written resume, like the way it's displayed on my screen?
No. No, I don't.
So I'm sharing one link. I'm so sorry, Joel. Can I come in?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
What you have done right now is phase 1, which is only the enrollment. User ID, right? So you have created successfully your user ID, and now we have to enroll in the program. So initially, we will enroll in the social emotional learning program. All right. I am pasting the link here in the chat box for you. All you need to do is just click on this link and enroll using the invite code. All right. So you're halfway there. It's just the enrollment which is left. And right now we are starting with social emotional learning course only. For digital educator, we will provide you with a separate link. All right. I hope that answers your question.
Sorry.
Yes.
I see Shreya raising hand with 2 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi everyone. I just wanted to let you know that do not worry if you are not able to get into the course right now. This is only for the purpose of demonstration, so you know how to go about it. You may feel stuck, it's normal. Through the WhatsApp group, please do feel free to ask queries and try it out after you have seen the video tutorial. Okay, so don't worry if you are right now not registered or if you have questions. We may not be able to answer all the questions right away because we are also running out of time. But do join the WhatsApp group, and Urvashi and Joel are on the WhatsApp group, and they'll be answering all your questions there. Okay? If you still feel that you have a very pressing question and you do want the answer right now, then we would urge you to stay back till Urvashi and Joel actually finish and close the session. Okay, we will have a question and answer round for about 10 minutes to answer your queries. Okay, but don't worry, right now just focus on seeing what it looks like and feels like. You don't need to do it side by side. Okay. Also, we have overshot the time. We are almost closing to 90 minutes, and I don't want to take more time. I know you've all had a very long work day. So we should also, just to be respectful of your time, we also want to seek your support in closing on time. Okay. But again, like I said, there's a question answer round that happens at the end for 10 minutes. You can stay back, and option two is to connect through WhatsApp and ask all your queries there. Okay, we are going to put the WhatsApp group link once again in the chat box. Please make sure if you're not on the WhatsApp group to join the group now. Okay, all right, back to you, Joel, and maybe another 2-3 minutes to officially close, please.
Thank you so much, Shreya, for that. Once you enroll to the course, this is your dashboard should be looking like this. And then now, as Shreya was putting it, more tutorial and more guidance will be provided. But for now, it's all about enrolling. So any question related to that, we shall pick it later on as we proceed. Yeah. So then allow us move to the next part. As we were saying that the course is structured in a way that it should be taken in two weeks. So we expect you to do module 1 and 2 in the first week, which is beginning now. And then now you finish module 3, 4, and 5 in the second week. But of course, with more guidance, we shall be providing more support as everyone needs to get there. Otherwise, this is just the enrolling process we have just demonstrated. So no worries if you didn't get it right. We shall make sure that you get it right in due course. Thank you so much. Unless there are questions now, you can put them in the chat, and as well as you can raise up the virtual hand, and then we see if we can address some of those questions. Yeah.
I would like to answer one question here in the chat box. It says that no code was required to join. So I just would like to give you this important information that if you're joining there are two options, facilitated cohort and self-directed cohort. So if you're joining self-directed cohort, wherein there is no code required, then that's the wrong, program that you're joining in. So you all are requested to use the special code, invite code, and join the program. So if you have not joined the program using the code, that means you are in a wrong program, self-directed program.
Yes, sure. So make sure as you enroll, use the enroll code. That means you are getting into the right program, which is facilitated cohort.
So I think there are no questions. Any questions? I don't see anything in the chat box. Okay, there are. If you have video that shows the steps on how to join, yes, of course, do not worry. As Shreya mentioned, we will be sharing both video and the document to guide you through each step. Important thing is that it is recommended that you use laptop or desktop device for a better experience. You may face some technical issues, while using mobile to create your user ID and enroll. You to use laptop and desktop for the better experience. How do we know I am registered? So the tutorial video and the document does have a lot of things that can help you understand whether you are registered and whether you are in the right program or not. What should we do with my ID? So the ID that you have recently created, you must save it somewhere because this is very important. Let me also rephrase this here, that user ID and the email that you are using to create your unique ID on the framer space. It is very the certificate that will be generated at the end of the entire program. You will be able to send these certificates to your email ID with which you have registered. So keep that ID and password and the framer space ID safe. Can you kindly please share the recording of the session? Yeah.
Yeah, the recording will be shared. There's another question here that someone is asking now. If I chose the self-directed, how do I get to the right course? So what you need to do, if I hope my screen is still visible, once you get to your dashboard, you'll be able to see the course here, the course that you have enrolled. And top right, you have 3 dots. You just point at it, then click. It says switch cohort. So at this point, you click and then now go to the right cohort. If you if you got into the self-directed initially, then you can now go to the right one, which is facilitated cohort. And this now will require the invite code. But remember to do this before you get deeper in the code, because if you finish the code, then now you come and try to switch, it means whatever you'll have done is disappearing and gets you back to zero. Yeah. Hope that has answered your question.
Any more questions? Okay.
Pretorius is talking of, I say it again. What is it to be said again? How to switch codes?
We will send you the tutorial document also. Don't worry.
Sure.
So there is a question here. If we accidentally went into digital, do not worry. Just follow the link to enroll in SEL as of now. And for digital, we will share another link and you will be able to register later on. Don't worry. If you have accidentally registered in the self-directed cohort, it is okay. We will share the steps to switch back to the facilitated cohort in the document and the video. Okay.
So to Yolanda, your hand is raised. Could you unmute and speak? Ask your question if it is a question or any concern. Yolanda. Okay, Tozama, your hand is up. Unmute and speak. All right, you could also write in the chat if maybe if you can. Okay, Yolanda, you are muted now.
So I wanted to ask something about the registration, but I think Ms. Tapa has already answered it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. SK?
Are you there? Joey?
Guys, I think we can just take the questions later. Maybe officially, please close. We've overshot 90 minutes as
Yes.
well.
Yes, Shreya.
Can
All
I
right.
respond?
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. So we'll be meeting again
Right.
same time,
Please close,
My
guys.
and we can connect on WhatsApp as well. Any questions that you have,